Hi, I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls since I was a child, and I never outgrew it. So, when I discovered reborn dolls, my collection started to grow. There's Haley, Landon, Avery, Chloe, Shiloh, Grace, Jamie, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, and Ava. Along with collecting, I've been a reborn artist since 2008. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hi guys, so over the next few weeks I am planning to do individual videos about each doll in my collection and where I got them from, when I got them, their artists, if they're handmade, and showing their details and things like that. Hi, Riley. Sorry, guys. Right on cue. So I thought that I would go way back and start with some childhood dolls. Now, most of my childhood dolls I no longer have, but I have kept these two. And so I have loved dolls since I was a little girl. They've just always been a part of my life. And out of all of my dolls growing up, these two were my favorite. I played with them the most. This is Emily, and she is a Cabbage Patch doll. She is one of the very original Cabbage Patch dolls that came out. And my mom told me she remembers when they came out and my uncle drove her like all over the city trying to find one because they were sold out everywhere. And so I found this, she found me this one. This is Emily. And considering how old she is, she's in pretty darn good shape. She's a little dusty in here. I haven't dusted her in a while. But her vinyl is pretty clean. It's a little shiny. She still has her yarn hair, which I try to keep as clean as possible. It is a little bit dusty, and it does have a little bit of pilling in there. Her ribbons are a little crumpled and frayed, but all in all, she's pretty good. I've always been very careful with my dolls. From the time I was very little, I was very careful to keep them clean and in as best shape as I could. You can see her hands are a little bit dirty, her fingers, and her arms there, and I'm not really sure how to clean Cabbage Patch Kids. But yeah, there's some stains. Not really sure where those stains came from, because like I said, I was always very careful, but yeah, and I think like she probably has some on her legs. She still has her original shoes and socks. The elastic is pretty much shot in the socks though. I'm surprised they're staying up. The elastic in her little bloomers is quite shot as well. And as you can see, the bloomers stayed covered except for the dress. And so the dress is a little bit grayish from dust over the years. I should probably try washing it up. But yeah, she was my main doll, and I mean, I had earmuffs for her, a winter coat and boots and mittens, and I would take her out in it. She had a bunting bag. I had a little Cabbage Patch booster chair that she could sit in. I also had this wooden high chair, and then I had my wooden bunk beds, which I still have. That's, I think someone made me, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, so I had like a lot of stuff. I had a little stroller, everything. I mean, she was like my #1 doll. And then a couple years later, the My Child dolls came out, and this is a My Child doll. And I did comb out her hair when I pulled her out of storage, so it's a little bit healthier looking and shiny looking. But over the years when I was playing with her as a child, and I used to try to recurl the ringlets in her pigtails, I used to use hairspray to hold them in. And so when you touch it, even though it looks shiny, and pretty clean. You can feel like the residue of the hairspray. But again, she's in pretty good shape. Her face is pretty clean. She's got a little bit of dirt on her nose or whatever, but other than that, like, she's got beautiful blue eyes. I always found it kind of funny how high up her eyebrows are. And this is the outfit that she came in. I'm not sure if this is the outfit that Emily came in. I actually kept all of the clothes that I used on these two babies, and they are in storage. But this is the outfit she came in, but I think she also had a jacket that went over this, but it's like little overalls, and then she's got these little patent leather shoes. She's still got her original socks, her original hair bows, all that stuff. And the point to the My Child dolls was that I think it was supposed to be like picking a doll that kind of resembled you. And so when I was younger, I had very blonde hair with highlights. So her hair kind of resembled mine. Mine wasn't quite as blonde as this, but my hair's just darkened over the years. I've never dyed my hair. It's just darkened. And then of course blue eyes. So yeah, so those are the dolls that pretty much got me going. And I had lots of other dolls. I had rag dolls. I had a vinyl Anne of Green Gables doll. I had the Baby Loves to Talk doll, which I recently sold. Yeah, so I just love dolls, and that was my favorite thing to play, was with my dolls, playing house with my play food, or my doctor kit, or my grocery shopping set. I had like a little cash register, and I would take them shopping. I also had like a little tiny shopping cart that actually had the seat where you could put the baby in it. And so I used to take them shopping, and it was just so much fun, and I never outgrew it. I never outgrew it. When you get to a certain age, I forget what age it was about, where like people were like, oh, you know, you're too old to do this, you're too old to do that, you're too old for dolls or whatever. Then I kept them. They were there in my room, but I didn't really, you know, play with them openly. But sometimes I would go in my room and close my door and play with Emily and Elizabeth still, even like in high school. And in high school, I got to do the Baby Think It Over program, and I absolutely loved it. My teacher thought I was nuts because I loved it. I didn't want to give the doll back because I had so much fun, and because I love dolls. So, and it was like the ultimate doll, like, you know, it cried and stuff. So yeah, so I, you know, learned that they were very expensive and kind of gave up on trying to get one until many years later. It kind of popped into my head one day when I was playing with these two. I think I was about 18 or 19 at the time, and decided to get on the computer, because at that time I finally had a computer and was finally on the internet, and started looking into it. And found out that the company only sold to schools. I was very disappointed. So I just kind of kept up with these two for a while. I did find out that the Baby Think It Over company had a sister company called Neonates, who was using the Baby Think It Over molds to make collector dolls out of those molds. And so they just had ones that didn't have any electronics in them but were weighted like a real baby, and then they had ones that had electronics in them that were similar to the Baby Think It Over, only the difference was that they weren't on like a real infant schedule. It was just like playtime kind of thing, where you would there was a switch on the back of the doll, and you would turn on the doll, and the doll would cry for care, and then you would tend to it for maybe like 2 minutes or something, and then the baby would be quiet for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and then cry again for something else. So it used the same sounds as the Baby Think It Over, and it used the same sensors and detectors and things like that. The only difference was that it wasn't on a real infant schedule like the Baby Think It Overs was. And so I was in awe of that. And I also found out that you could buy actual Baby Think It Overs on eBay. And so I started looking back and forth and trying to figure out what I wanted. And yeah, and so that will kind of lead me into the next video, which will be where I introduce you guys to Haley and give you the backstory on Haley and show you her details. And I'll give like a little slideshow of some pictures with her. I don't really have too many pictures of these guys to show you. I might be able to dig up some from my childhood that they're in that I might throw at the end of this video. But there's probably not too many that I have on hand. But definitely there'll be a lot for Haley's video. So that is the little backstory on me and my dolly habits and basically how I never really outgrew them. And, you know, it was just a matter of me getting up the courage to pick the hobby back up as an adult. Because I was like 19, which is technically considered an adult at that point. And so, yeah, so we will pick back up on the next video where I talk to you guys about Haley and that journey that started with me. And like I said, I was about, I think I was like 19 or 20 at the time. So we will check you guys. We will check in with you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed meeting Emily and Elizabeth, and we will see you next time. Bye guys.